Alright, welcome back to Kosi Media. My name is Kosi and I'm here to give you the Arsenal transfer news update right now. Later on we shall be doing the Manchester United news update as well, the Chelsea news update as well as other clubs. Right now I'm starting with Arsenal because they have the trending stories. Yesterday, just to start with, we are going to be talking about Gabriel Magalhaes and how he has decided to join Arsenal. It's going to be a 5-year deal and all the other things we shall be talking about about them. But just to start with, yesterday Arsenal cut off 55 staff or members of its staff, and they included head of scouting, who was Chicago, that man who brought in Gabriel Magalhaes and brought in Hector Bellerin and brought in players like Terrace. He was cut off, and it was really unfair for him. He's the man who has been spearheading all the transfers for Arsenal, despite the fact that Arsenal has really been in a very tough financial situation. So guys, it's not the best of news for him, and it's not the best of news for Arsenal. Probably Arsenal must have thought twice before doing that, because I think he has been one of the workers that have been very loyal at Arsenal. But somehow, because of money issues, his job is gone. He was cut off from his from his job at Arsenal. So head of scouting at Arsenal was really fired yesterday. Not the best of news. Still, the Telegraph have written something that actually Arsenal is very close to completing 2 deals. That is Willian and Philippe Coutinho, despite cutting off 55 workers, saying that they do not have money. Now remember, Philippe Coutinho's deal will actually cost Arsenal around 9 million, and Willian is going to get around 130k. That is in his new contract at Arsenal. However, the Telegraph have been mocking us, and they are saying you're about to bring 2 very expensive talents and very expensive players, but you're cutting off 55 you're cutting off 55 workers. Of course, that takes us to the Mesut Ozil saga, that he's sitting on a 350k salary a week, which is not actually even earning at Arsenal. But 55 workers, 55 members of staff are starving and being cut off their jobs. So I'll leave that to you, that in your opinion, guys, the Arsenal fans. I'll be talking about Gabriel Magalhaes, just like I promised at the beginning of the video. Now yesterday I was trying to follow the trending news on Twitter and all the blogs around Arsenal and all around the Premier League, and I shockingly, this shocked me as well, but I saw it and I decided to keep it somewhere safe. Gabriel Magalhaes decided to join Arsenal over Manchester United and over Everton, over Napoli as well. Now, you guys, you will remember very well that last week Napoli was trending as the as the leading team to sign Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille, because they expect to lose Kalidou Koulibaly to either Manchester United or Manchester City. So they want a possible replacement of the player, and they had decided to go for Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille, which was not something bad. And they were about to actually get him at 20 million euros. However, Everton came in and they were willing to pay 25 billion pounds for the player, and the player's representatives actually fly to England. The player is said to have had a medical with Everton. However, everything changed when Manchester United came into the game, and United had talks with the representatives of Gabriel Magalhaes. And United is said to be one of those clubs that were going to pay 30 million euros for the player to Lille. And it seemed like a deal was done. United were going to take the player. Only yesterday, Manchester United was given a big blow when Arsenal became favourites to sign Gabriel Magalhaes. And guess what? The player decided to join Arsenal over Manchester United. Yes, I know United had offered him a chance to play in the Champions League, and of course Arsenal had only Europa League. But the best thing is that I think Mikel Arteta told him, you're going to have first team football, you're going to have regular team football, you're going to be the main man in the defense. And I think looking at the fact that he's going to be playing with William Saliba, with whom he have been playing in the same league, his reunion with Pepe, at Arsenal, because they have been playing at they played with, at Lille last season, and now this season Pepe moved to Arsenal. So I think the reunion and so many other factors have forced Gabriel Magalhaes to choose Arsenal over the other club. So the player has decided to join Arsenal. However, there is no contact and there is no bidding between Arsenal and Lille, but we expect it to begin so soon. So Arsenal could actually bring in 3 players at once. That is Gabriel Magalhaes, Philippe Coutinho, as well as Willian in the same transfer window in a very, very short period of time. Yeah, my thoughts on this deal is that Arsenal cannot afford to get a very expensive centre back. Even if they wanted to, they cannot afford. Even if they wanted to get someone like Nathan Ake for 40 million, it would still be very hard for Arsenal to sign someone or for that amount. Now, if you get a chance and you can sign a player, centre backs are really expensive these days. But if you can get a highly rated quality centre back for 30 million euros, why don't you go for that? Why don't you just sign that person up, and you can find the rest later. So I think Arsenal are just being lucky in this transfer window. First and foremost, Thomas Partey is offered to Arsenal for 43 million pounds. I think a quality midfielder, CDM of his quality, 40 million euros. That is just joking money. Just look at players like Philippe Coutinho. So many clubs would want him, but Barcelona is offering him at Arsenal, and the player is like, yes, I will join Arsenal on a long deal. I think it would be a massive signing. You get Willian on a free signing, and you also get Gabriel Magalhaes on 22 or 25 million pounds, which is around 30 million euros. Yeah, I think it's a good and successful transfer market for Arsenal, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. So that is the news. I read the player. I read the player, but I don't really know much about him. But I try to rate him somehow because I've seen him play against Chelsea in the Champions League. Lille were in the Champions League. You remember? I've seen his highlights on YouTube. A little, but I don't think he's this shocking centre back, the Virgil van Dijk and so on. But I think Arsenal will be good to go. He's going to be playing alongside William Saliba if he joins, and that's why I used that thumbnail. But it shows that many people are concerned about how two ball-playing centre backs are going to be playing, in the same defense. All I can say is one thing, that the role of the manager at a club is to transform players. Make them what you want. You remember Raheem Sterling at Manchester City when he had just joined Manchester City from Liverpool. He was not a goal scorer. He was, he was a sprinter. But somehow he became a goal scorer at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. So you never know what's going to come out of those dressing rooms when Mikel Arteta actually decides to get his hands on William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. So that is the latest transfer news from Arsenal. However, we could see Willian making his medical very, very soon. I'll come back when I confirm that story. Stay with me.